Have you ever wondered why so many older adults wake up at 3 a.m. and struggle to drift back to sleep? You might find yourself lying in the stillness of the night, staring at the ceiling, questioning what's off with your body or mind. The reality is, this is more common than you might think, and it's not just a random quirk or a simple consequence of aging. In this video, we'll dive into 5 significant reasons why people often wake up around 3 a.m. as they grow older, and what those early wake-ups might be revealing about you. Each reason uncovers a deeper truth about your body, your health, and your life's journey, and by the end of this video, you might view your sleep patterns in an entirely new way. These aren't just superficial answers, they're grounded in real physiology, psychology, and the natural rhythms of aging that most people don't even realize are at play. We'll explore shifts in hormones, sleep cycles, health issues, and even emotional and social factors that might be quietly influencing you behind the scenes, all presented in a way that's honest, empowering, and deeply respectful of the life you've lived so far. So, if you've ever found yourself waking up at 3 a.m. and wondering why, you're in the right place. Stay with us until the end, because what you discover here might not only improve your sleep, it could help you better understand and value what your body is experiencing. Let's get started. Number 1. Declining melatonin production. One of the most evident reasons older adults wake up in the middle of the night, often around 3 a.m., is the natural decrease in melatonin production that comes with aging. Melatonin is the hormone that regulates your sleep-wake cycle, often referred to as the body's internal clock, and it plays a crucial role in helping you fall asleep and stay asleep. When you were younger, your body likely produced a consistent, robust amount of melatonin each night, enabling long periods of deep, uninterrupted rest. But as you age, your body begins to produce less of it, and that change can significantly affect how well you sleep. You might still fall asleep easily at night, especially after a busy day or a calm evening, but by the early morning hours, 2 a.m., 3 a.m., or sometimes 4 a.m., your natural melatonin levels may drop too low to keep you in a restful state. You might wake up not because of a loud noise or a dream, but because your brain is gradually shifting toward wakefulness without enough melatonin to keep you asleep. This isn't a mistake on your part, nor does it mean your body is failing, it simply means your internal chemistry is evolving with age. Additionally, your bedroom environment can worsen this effect. Even small amounts of light, from a street lamp outside, a glowing clock on your nightstand, or a hallway light seeping under the door, can further suppress melatonin. As you age, your body becomes more sensitive to environmental cues, making that 3 a.m. wake-up feel even more frustrating. Take Harold, for example, a 72-year-old who always considered himself a solid sleeper. Recently, though, he finds himself wide awake around 3:15 a.m. most nights. He doesn't feel anxious or upset, just fully alert, as if it's time to start the day. Once he learned that this wasn't a personal failing but a normal part of aging related to melatonin, he stopped feeling guilty and began adjusting his habits. He now keeps his bedroom darker, avoids screens an hour before bed, and takes a short evening walk to reinforce his natural circadian rhythm. These small changes help signal to his body that it's still nighttime, and while he still wakes up early occasionally, he's learned to work with his body rather than fight it. This kind of insight can be transformative. When you understand that waking up early might not be your fault but a natural hormonal shift, you can take steps to support your sleep instead of resenting your body. That's the power of awareness. It turns frustration into understanding and helps you make smarter choices about how you care for yourself at night. Number 2. Altered sleep cycle and advanced sleep phase. Another key reason older adults often wake up around 3 a.m. is a natural shift in the body's internal clock, a phenomenon called advanced sleep phase. As we age, our circadian rhythms tend to shift forward, meaning we may feel drowsy earlier in the evening and wake up earlier in the morning. You might find yourself dozing off during a late-night show or waking up at dawn without an alarm, even on days when you'd prefer to sleep longer. This shift isn't just a change in habit, it's deeply rooted in biology and can become more noticeable with each passing year. In your younger years, your body's rhythm often aligned with a later bedtime and a wake-up time that felt more in tune with the sunrise. But as this rhythm advances, your sleep window naturally moves forward. You might fall asleep at 9 p.m., or even earlier, without planning to, which means your body has likely completed its full rest cycle by 3 a.m. That's why you might find yourself wide awake in the middle of the night, feeling as though you've had enough rest, even if it's still dark outside. This doesn't indicate something is wrong, it just means your body is operating on a new schedule. Think of it like a clock that's been gradually reset over the years, ticking a bit earlier each season. While this isn't harmful, it can be frustrating if your lifestyle, family routine, or personal preferences don't match this new rhythm. There's also a subtle psychological aspect to this change. Many older adults live in quieter homes or spend more time alone, and that calm environment can amplify the body's signals to wind down earlier. Without the constant activity or noise that might have once delayed bedtime, your system starts its nightly shutdown process sooner. If you're no longer working full-time or following a rigid daily schedule, the absence of external time cues, like meetings, commutes, or social events, can make this internal shift even more pronounced. Let's look at Charles, a 68-year-old retiree. He often eats dinner around 5:30 p.m., watches TV for an hour, and is asleep by 9 p.m. By 3 a.m., his body is naturally ready to wake up. He doesn't feel anxious or stressed, just alert. At first, he thought it was insomnia, but once he learned about advanced sleep phase, he realized his sleep wasn't broken, it was just rescheduled. Charles started adjusting his evening routine to stay up a bit longer, reading a book with a warm light, taking a gentle walk after dinner, and occasionally chatting with his daughter before bed. These small social and sensory cues helped stretch his sleep window, shifting his wake-up time closer to morning, resulting in fewer 3 a.m. wake-ups and a better sense of alignment with his daily life. This natural shift in sleep cycles is something many older adults experience but rarely discuss. Understanding it can alleviate a lot of guilt or confusion, offering a more compassionate way to work with your body instead of resisting it. So, if you're waking up at 3 a.m. and feel like you've had a full night's sleep, your body might just be on an earlier schedule now. Once you recognize that, you can start shaping your routine in ways that support your well-being. If you're still watching this video and finding these insights valuable, please comment, number 2, below to let me know you're here. And if you haven't subscribed yet, I recommend you subscribe and turn on the bell so you don't miss any videos. Your support helps us continue creating good content to inform and inspire you. Now, let's move forward. Number 3. Physical discomfort and health-related disruptions. Another frequent reason older adults wake up around 3 a.m. is the body's reaction to physical discomfort or underlying health issues that often emerge during the quiet hours of the night. As we age, the likelihood of dealing with chronic conditions or minor health problems increases, and many of these issues can disrupt sleep without raising obvious red flags. They sneak in subtly, like a sore joint, a full bladder, or a sudden twinge in the back, and that can be enough to pull you out of a restful state in the middle of the night. For instance, conditions like arthritis can make lying in the same position for hours uncomfortable. You might not notice the discomfort when you first fall asleep, but after several hours of stillness, those aches can build enough to wake you. For others, nighttime acid reflux might rouse them from sleep, especially if they ate dinner too late or lay down too soon after eating. Even something as minor as dry mouth, muscle cramps, or a slight change in room temperature can cause a light awakening in the early morning hours when your body's defenses are more sensitive and less forgiving than they used to be. One of the most common physical reasons older men wake up at 3 a.m. is the need to urinate. As we age, the bladder becomes less elastic, and the urge to relieve it can come on faster and more often. You might not notice it during the day when distractions keep your mind busy, but at 3 a.m., in a dark, quiet room, that sensation becomes hard to ignore. Once you get up and move, even just to the bathroom, your body may shift from deep rest to light alertness, making it harder to fall back asleep. Medications, which many older adults take regularly for blood pressure, heart health, or pain management, can also play a role. These medications often have side effects like frequent urination, changes in body temperature, or heightened sensitivity to noise or light, which can quietly affect sleep. You might not even connect your medicine to your sleep pattern until someone points it out or you start tracking your habits more closely. Take Eleanor, for example, a 76-year-old woman who has always been a relatively light sleeper. Over the past year, she started waking up consistently around 3:30 a.m. After months of thinking it was just aging, she spoke with her doctor and learned that one of her medications was affecting her hydration levels, increasing her nighttime bathroom trips. With her doctor's guidance, she adjusted the timing of her dosage, made a few lifestyle changes, and now wakes up less often and falls back asleep more easily when she does. The key thing to understand here is that physical wake-ups don't mean your body is failing. They're actually signs that your body is still doing its job, responding, alerting, and adjusting. These signals can guide you toward better care, more informed decisions, and a deeper trust in your own awareness. Waking up at 3 a.m. might feel like an annoyance, but it can also be a gentle prompt to tune in, check in, and make small changes that support better health and deeper rest. Number 4. Lifestyle habits that alter your sleep rhythm. Another significant but often overlooked reason older adults find themselves awake at 3 a.m. lies in long-established daily habits, small routines and choices that, over time, quietly reshape your internal rhythm. Many older adults naturally start eating dinner earlier, winding down sooner in the evening, and engaging in less physical activity during the day. These seemingly small adjustments add up and can signal to the body that the night should begin earlier, which inevitably pushes the wake-up time earlier too. When your days become quieter, especially after retirement, your body no longer receives the same external cues it once relied on, like commuting, running errands, or engaging in physically or mentally stimulating tasks. Without those cues, the body's sleep-wake cycle may start to drift forward. A calm, dimly lit evening with minimal stimulation can cause your brain to produce melatonin earlier, inviting sleep before you've even noticed the clock has struck 9 p.m. And once you're asleep earlier, your body simply finishes its rest earlier, waking up in those still pre-dawn hours, often right around 3 a.m. There's also a subtle connection between meal timing and sleep quality. Eating dinner early, while generally healthy, can sometimes lead to a drop in blood sugar levels overnight, especially if there's no light snack before bed. That drop might not feel like hunger, but it can still rouse the body from sleep. Similarly, caffeine consumed even in the early afternoon can linger in your system, especially as metabolism slows with age, subtly lightening your sleep and making you more prone to waking up at any disturbance. For someone like Walter, a 74-year-old recent retiree, these changes happened gradually. His days became less structured, his evenings more relaxed, he started having supper at 5 p.m., falling asleep in his recliner during the evening news, and heading to bed before 9 p.m. most nights. Without realizing it, his entire routine had shifted a few hours earlier. Before long, he began waking up around 3 a.m., confused about why he was wide awake before the birds even started singing. After reflecting on his routine, Walter made small adjustments, adding a short afternoon walk, reading in brighter light during the evening, and avoiding naps after dinner. These changes helped push his natural sleep window a bit later, allowing his body to settle into a rhythm that better matched his ideal wake-up time. It's remarkable how often we overlook the power of routine. Our bodies crave rhythm, daily patterns that act as signals, telling the brain when it's time to rest and when to rise. As those signals weaken or shift, the internal body clock can lose its bearings, leading to earlier and more fragmented sleep. But by noticing these patterns and making thoughtful adjustments, it's possible to gently guide the body back to a sleep cycle that feels more restorative and less disrupted. If you're still watching this video and finding these insights valuable, please comment, number 4, below to let me know you're here. And if you haven't subscribed yet, I recommend you subscribe and turn on the bell so you don't miss any videos. Your support helps us continue creating good content to inform and inspire you. Now, let's move forward. Number 5. Emotional and psychological restlessness. Sometimes, waking up at 3 a.m. has less to do with the body and more to do with the mind. As we grow older, emotional layers that were once buried by the busyness of daily life can start to emerge in the stillness of the night. These early morning hours, when the world is quiet and distractions are minimal, often become the time when unspoken worries, regrets, or longings begin to surface. You might find yourself lying awake, not because of noise or pain, but because your mind is quietly sifting through memories, unresolved thoughts, or subtle anxieties you didn't realize were still there. This kind of restlessness is different from the intense anxiety that might have struck in youth. It's quieter, more reflective, like a soft hum in the background, a feeling that something is unsettled, even if you can't quite pinpoint it. The mind, when not actively engaged, often reaches back to past relationships, old decisions, losses experienced, or words left unspoken. And because the body is no longer rushing from one task to another, there's space for those thoughts to resonate a little louder. Loneliness can also play a role here. For many older adults, social circles shrink over time, children move away, friends get busy, and routines change. The daytime might be filled with activity, but nighttime brings silence, and with it, an awareness of that emotional void. This kind of loneliness doesn't always feel heavy. Sometimes it manifests as a longing for connection or a subtle ache for someone to talk to when the house is quiet. Consider Gloria, an 80-year-old widow. During the day, she stays busy tending her garden, calling her grandchildren, and watching her favorite shows, but around 3 a.m., she often finds herself waking up, her thoughts drifting to moments she shared with her late husband or to worries she keeps hidden during the day. At first, she thought something was wrong with her sleep, but over time, she realized her early waking wasn't about sleep, it was her heart seeking to be heard. To support herself, Gloria started keeping a small journal by her bed. When she wakes up, she sometimes writes down whatever's on her mind. Nothing elaborate, just a few honest thoughts. She also added a calming evening ritual, like listening to soft music or writing a short note to a friend. These small acts of reflection and connection gave her emotions a gentle outlet, easing her mind and helping her return to sleep more peacefully. The truth is, the human heart doesn't follow a strict schedule. It remembers what it wants to, asks the questions it needs to, and sometimes does so at 3 a.m. when everything else is silent. But that's not a flaw, it's a sign of depth. If you find yourself waking up and feeling reflective, it might mean you're carrying wisdom that's ready to be acknowledged. You've lived through joys and sorrows, and those experiences shape not just your memories but your sense of self. Instead of viewing these wake-ups as something to fix, try approaching them with curiosity and kindness. What is your mind trying to share? What do you need to express? What part of you needs a little compassion, even in the dark? Sometimes, the deepest rest comes not from ignoring these moments but from honoring them. In doing so, you might find not only better sleep but a richer understanding of yourself at this stage of life. Final thoughts. As we conclude this video, take a moment to reflect on what you've just heard. What struck you the most? Was it the shift in your internal clock, the subtle changes in your health, or perhaps something deeper, an emotional rhythm that only reveals itself when the world is still? Each of these 5 reasons provides a different perspective through which to understand your early morning wake-ups, and none of them suggest something is wrong or broken. In fact, they each show how deeply your body and mind are still working, responding, and adapting as you navigate this stage of life. There's a quiet strength in understanding what your body is trying to communicate, especially in those tender hours before dawn. Instead of seeing 3 a.m. wake-ups as a bother, you might start to view them as messages, gentle signals reminding you to listen more closely to your needs, habits, and heart. You're not alone in this experience, and you're certainly not the only one seeking answers. But with understanding comes empowerment, and with empowerment comes the freedom to make small, meaningful changes that support better rest, deeper comfort, and a stronger connection to your own rhythms. If you've recognized yourself in any of these reasons today, know that you're not just aging, you're evolving. And with that evolution comes a chance to rest more intentionally, care for yourself more gently, and greet each morning with a bit more understanding and peace. Thank you for joining us today. We'd love to hear from you. Leave a comment below and share one thing you learned today and how you plan to use it in your life. Your thoughts are important to us, so don't hesitate to share them. Reading your comments gives us great motivation and encouragement. If you enjoyed this video and found it helpful, please like, subscribe, and share. Your support helps us keep creating good content to inform and inspire you. Thanks for watching, and we look forward to seeing you in the next video.